So, as you guys can probably tell from the title below, I'm doing a video that I can't believe I'm actually gonna film, but right now I'm at like such a good point where I can open up to you guys about it, and it's something that I haven't really opened up to more than like 3 or 4 people in my life about, and that's nerve-wracking. Just as a quick disclaimer, I was really nervous about posting this video, let alone filming it, because one, I don't really know how it's gonna go. There's like a billion things in my mind right now. I don't want it to be perceived as like a, oh my god, feel bad for me kind of video, because that's not what this is, because now I'm like healthy, I'm happy, and this was just a long time ago. The purpose for me doing this is to talk about my experience, and a lot of people comment on videos saying like, oh my gosh, you're so perfect, like why don't you have any flaws? And you guys watch us here on YouTube and you see that, but in reality we're just normal people, and I want you guys to remember that like if you're going through something, like you're not alone. You know, it's a scary thing growing up in a society like we have today, and if this video helps one person out of the 300,000 people that watch my videos, then that's all that really matters, because that's what I'm here to do. I've only opened up about this subject to about 3 or 4 people in my life. Like, my parents don't really even know about it, but you know, they had their thoughts and stuff, but I was never comfortable talking about it, and I'm like 100% comfortable talking about it now, so there's no time like the present. Going into my sophomore year of college, I had an eating disorder, like an all-consuming thing, but like people would ask me about it, like, are you okay? And I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, like I eat all the time. In reality, no, like I wasn't, and it was eventually something that I just like woke up one morning and I was just like, you know, this is not how I want to live, this is not what I'm doing my YouTube channel for, like I'm lying to all these people. And I just woke up and I was like, what the heck am I doing? So a little bit of a background. When I was in high school, I was always really small. I was a cross-country runner and a track runner, and so I was always just like physically active, and I was just running all the time, and I was just really eating whatever I wanted. I also figure skated, and typically we were all just like really small people. Like it was just naturally that way. I didn't even start my period until I was a junior in high school, so I was like over 16 years old by the time I started, which, I mean, it's normal for runners and stuff like that, but I was just genuinely a small person. So I quit cross country going into my senior year of high school because my coach and I just did not see eye to eye, and I was just over it. So I decided to quit on the first day of practice, and all of a sudden I was not running like 5 miles a day because I had so much free time. And when you're used to like having such a poor diet and being able to like run as much as you want to like burn it all off, it's kind of like a shock, I guess, in a way, to go from being so physically active to not. And you know, my entire senior year I just kind of ate whatever I wanted, and I never really was like bigger or anything like that. It just like it became noticeable in my body that like, you know, there's some more meat on my bones, and it wasn't like that bad. It was just, you know, you notice when it's yourself. So then I came to college, and all of a sudden I had all this free time, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can start working out again. And so that's what I started to do once I came to college. Like I'd go to class and then I'd go to the gym, and I started counting calories, and pretty soon I started to like get my old body back, and I was just really excited about that. And I was able to like go out with my friends and eat. Like in high school and in like the freshman year of college, like I was never that girl that like guys wanted or something, and I wasn't like the most popular person ever, especially in high school. Like I literally did not care about high school. I hated high school, so I didn't really care to find like my significant other at that point, and the boys weren't like giving me the most attention, and I was just used to that. And so as I started to lose this weight my freshman year, all of a sudden like boys in popularity started to increase, and I guess for some reason I connected that with like the way that my body was, even though, I mean, now that I know the people, it's like my personality was the thing that they were attracted to, not the fact that I was like X amount of pounds or whatever. So I was always counting calories and working out a lot, and then come summertime I just started becoming so obsessive over my body, and I was just like, I need to have a flat stomach, because to me a flat stomach was like so beautiful, and I was doing all this stuff for YouTube, and I was just like, you know, I want to have the perfect body, like I want to be a mannequin for these clothes, and like everybody's complimenting me on my YouTube videos being like, oh my god, you have the perfect body, and it just kind of kept on fueling the flame for me, because I was like, oh, like if they think this is beautiful, like what if I lose 5 more pounds? Pretty soon I just completely was restricting things I was eating. I quickly became the queen of the, oh, I'm not hungry kind of thing to my parents. If I lose 5 pounds, I'll be so much happier. And they were like, you don't need to. But I was like, oh no, trust me, like I need to. And it was all so mental. And it was the summer going into my sophomore year that all of a sudden, like, all these boys were like showing, like, they were talking to me and they were flirting with me, just being really sweet to me, and I was just like, oh my god, like all these boys are giving me attention, and like I was mentally thinking like, oh, it's clearly because I'm skinny or something like that. And obviously now looking back on it, I know better, but it was once again just fueling the flame. My mom was like, Sarah, like I'm gonna start to be worried, like are you, like do you have an eating problem, like I'm worried. And I'd just be like, no mom, like it's completely fine, like I'm perfectly fine. Remember, I was like, this is where I hate this part, that I even did this. Like this is a part that I'm like just so ashamed of, because here I am on YouTube like talking about confidence and like how you need to love your body, because right now I like love the way I look, but I was just so obsessed with like having the perfect like stick figure. And so I started taking pictures of like me not even sucking in. People were like, oh my god, you're sucking in. That's how like my body just became that. There's so many girls out there that have worse conditions than I did, and I was taking these pictures and I was just like, okay, like this is the part of my body that I need to work on. So if I need to lose weight, hopefully this will completely flatten out my stomach. Ashamed of myself, because like there were girls that were looking up to me, and here I was doing this to myself, and I was being in the public eye. Like I'm not blaming the public eye at all. It was all just mental. Like I was just like, oh boys, oh YouTube, like this is all why I need to be this skinny. And in reality, I had like some of my YouTube friends being like, Sarah, like are you okay? Then starting my sophomore year, I, you know, got back from the beach, and I was just switching like my group of friends and everything. Like I was hanging out with this one group my freshman year, and I switched friend groups like dramatically my sophomore year, and I also met my best friend Carrie. And then we also had this big Greek performance called Air Bands at my campus, and we all had to wear like tight stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in these tight clothing, like these tight leggings and tight red shirt, like I need to look my best. And so at that point it was just like, I remember leading up to that, it was like, I must get skinnier, I must get skinnier, I must get skinnier. And as I said, Carrie came into my life at this time, and you know, our friendship grew, and like she really helped me like find the person that I am today, and like that confidence that I needed, and showing me that like the boys are gonna love you whether you're skinny or if you're like bigger, like normal or whatever. Like it's all about what's on the inside, and it was literally consuming me. Like it was, I had to do it, and I was just like just living off of compliments on how skinny I was and how like I should go eat a cheeseburger. Like that was just kept on fueling it, and I've said that before, but this is where the happiness comes in. So like finding this friendship and all these like solid friends that like loved me for who I was, I began to see that what I was doing was stupid. I was like, Sarah, like what are you doing? Wake up. I began like seeing that what I was doing to my body was like hurting it. Like I stopped my period for a while there, and it was a scary time, but like it wasn't that I got help or anything like that. It was, for me, I was lucky enough to just wake up one morning and be like, what are you doing? Why is this a thing? And so I guess it continued until about the winter time, and eventually I was just like, and I was just really so like dark, in a dark place, that I was just like, ew. Like I admitted to it to my best friend. I don't know, I guess it was just the right people at the right timing that I was just like, hey Sarah, what you're doing is not okay to your body, and like it's okay that it happened, but you can change it. And I realized that, you know, happiness wasn't based off of like boys thinking that you're so skinny and everything like that. It was about who you are, and like your happiness, like when you're happy, you'll make other people happy. And it was clear to people that I wasn't happy. And I just want you all to know that like if you are suffering from anorexia, you're not alone. 1 out of 3 girls has an eating disorder. And that's crazy to me. And when I was thinking about this the other day, I was like, if I have 300,000 subscribers, that means that approximately 100,000 of my subscribers will have or had an eating disorder in their past. And if you agree with me, that is just too high of a number. Don't be afraid to talk about it with your like loved ones. Like they can help you, and that's what I really feel like helped me. Like I opened up to my best friend about it and she didn't judge. People are gonna love you no matter how much you weigh, like whether or not your stomach's flat or whether or not your thighs touch. Like each one of you are absolutely beautiful in your own way, and you shouldn't be looking at magazines being like, oh my gosh, this is a perfect person. Like we all have our own bodies, and that's what makes us human, and that's what makes us beautiful. But if this is something that's affecting you, like don't be afraid, because it is a scary thing at the time, but like pretty soon life is gonna change, and like no matter how dark a day will be, it's always gonna be brighter. So that is my story, and I hope it helped some of you out there in some way or form. I don't really know. And to end this video, I wanted to end with one of my favorite quotes, which is by one of my favorite people, Tyra Banks. And I found this online and I just think it's absolutely perfect. So it says, girls of all kinds can be beautiful, from thin, plus-sized, short, very tall, ebony to porcelain-skinned, the quirky, clumsy, shy, outgoing, and all in between. It's not easy though, because many people still put beauty into a confining, narrow box. Think outside the box. Pledge that you will look in the mirror and find a unique beauty in you. I just feel like that hits home. I hope you guys liked this video as much as you can like it. I don't really know what that, like, how do you like this video? I don't really know. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more of me. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later.